Hello, this is Pablo Arias with International Relocation Partner, and I wanted to answer this question. Here we go. I'm looking to ship a 20-foot container to Costa Rica from San Francisco area. And also be able to keep the container or slash buy the container upon arrival in Costa Rica. So once again, my name is Pablo Arias with the International Relocation Partner, and basically what we do is we help expats and the expat community to do international shipments from the United States, from Canada to countries like Costa Rica, Panama, Mexico, Portugal. I want to make this answer general to all destinations, but in this particular case, this gentleman is asking about Costa Rica. For that, I would like to have a little bit more as a one-on-one consultation call to explain the details for Costa Rica. But in general, I'm going to give you a few options for you to think about before you end up purchasing the container and shipping the container. So, no, in reality, the tough part here, or what's different from many other shipping processes, is can I keep the container? Is this something that I can do? Can I keep it? Maybe not, maybe yes. Or I could purchase this when I get a destination abroad. Maybe this gentleman is looking to have a container for storage. For he wants to set up a little warehouse and use it for storage. Many people use these containers to build their new house at destination, to build something, and this is something that you could do. But I'm going to tell you a few things that you need to be aware of. I want to introduce to you this concept. This is SOC containers. So, and let me show you what this means. And this is what it means. SOC stands for shipper on container. So it means that the shipper, the owner of the cargo, who is shipping the cargo, owns the container, right? And then here it's got a little question. Somebody write this, and this is another. I just googled this up, but this is a very interesting, way to put it. SOC versus COO. So COO is carrier on containers. So when the shipping company owns the container versus when the owner of the shipment owns the container. So that's enough from here. So if you own the container, it means that you need to purchase the container in advance. Some companies may be able to offer this. This is not our case, but in many cases, you can look in your zip code, probably go into a used market like Facebook Marketplace and try to purchase one. But that brings an extra level of challenges, and I wanna talk about those challenges. So it is perfectly possible, but there is a lot of challenges that you need to be aware of. And 9 out of 10, you're better off just shipping everything with a shipping company's container. And when you get in Costa Rica, or when you get to the final destination, whatever it might be, either Panama, Mexico, or Portugal, you purchase the container that is already in that destination. And I'm going to share you why that's the most common practice. The first thing is the container is not personal household goods. So you're shipping your own personal household goods, and when you're shipping internationally, household goods get treated differently. In a lot of countries like Panama, Belize, Mexico, Portugal, not the case for Costa Rica, but in many countries, you don't have to pay import taxes when you're shipping your own household goods. But if you're shipping something that is not personal household goods, what end up happening is you end up having a lot more complex process, and you may even lose the benefit of not paying import taxes. For Costa Rica, this is not the case, but it also adds an extra level of complexity. Okay, let's say you still want to purchase the container, and maybe you already have the container. The first thing you need to do is you need to make sure the container has something that in the industry is called the seaworthiness certificate. And this is needed because many containers that are used, that are in the market, they don't have the conditions needed and required for the container to be shipped abroad. Maybe they have a structure damage, and you have to think about what is the process. You're putting this container into the vessel. These vessels, they stack containers, sometimes up to 12 containers. And if this container is not seaworthiness, may have a damage on it, that might make that the containers, all of that weight, that might collapse. When they stack the containers one on top of the other, if you have this container that is not in good conditions. So shipping companies and visa lines and the industry in general is very aware of this. So anytime you're shipping your own container, you need to get a certificate. A lot of times you need to get an expert to visit your lot, your yard, or your property to take a look of this and issue this certificate. And that it's expensive. Sometimes you may be paying $300, depending on your location, up to $700, and that's something for you to think about. The other necessary additional thing is you pay import taxes, and this is for Costa Rica. And I'm almost sure that in any destination that you're shipping your own container, this is not going to get treated as household goods, as your own personal household goods. So you're going to have to pay import taxes. For your particular case in Costa Rica, the average container will be paying anywhere between 1,100 to $1,500. There are many factors into this, but it's an added cost that you're not thinking. So you have the seaworthiness that if whoever sold you the container do not provide that to you, you have to pay for the certificate or someone to issue the certificate. And then on top of that, when it lands Costa Rica, you have to pay the import taxes. Or when it lands at destination, you have to pay import taxes on that. So that's an additional cost. Also, there is an additional cost by shipping. You now have to do a customs declaration. So you have to do an additional customs declaration for the container. So there's one for your household goods because that gets treated differently. A lot of times you get the benefit, and in fact, Costa Rica, even with the current law, you get a big discount on the import taxes. There is a discount because you can depreciate the value of your goods. So even with that, in Costa Rica, you have to make a second declaration to declare the container. So it's an added fee for the second declaration.